Pecha Kucha 31, Romance of the Three Kingdoms 13, Edit Mode and Mass Effect, mostly Andromeda, with a little bit of that guy, Commander Shepard. So I kind of spent this week doing not what I should, well, not what I was told to do, but what I kind of feel like I should be doing in general. And we'll talk about Mass Effect as well. So I was just listening to some music from one of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms games. I just picked up a bit of tracing paper off the floor and got my brush pen and decided to start drawing Chinese civil officials. And putting light through the tracing paper kind of makes me think there could be something to this. So I did another one kind of arbitrarily of Dong Shuo, the tyrant, big fat, awesome bad guy. And then, just Google images, fire, put the tracing paper in front, and now it looks like I'm trying to say something. It's not conclusive, but I'm pretty sure there's something here that could be useful for something. So Romance of the Three Kingdoms, the game, got an expansion. Big map of China. It's your job to conquer it. You can play as a guy at the top or a guy at the bottom. Now, one of the things the expansion pack added is the ability to kind of add your own events that can dramatically impact just about every element of the game. So the scripting for the dialogue, like there are these little bits where like numbers in brackets are put in, and it's like the closest the game comes to making you do coding. So when you actually put this into the cutscenes, the numbers are replaced by the names of the generals that the numbers denote. So in this example, Ma Chao and Cao Cao, with their names highlighted in blue, will be 1 and 2 respectively, or whatever order they've been put in. So it's like, this is how I, making these things up, make them as credible as they are in the game. Because I can literally just type Ma Chao and Cao Cao, but it won't be in blue, so it won't look as authentic as the other cutscenes. So that's me being authentic to the game. Being authentic to the book the game takes its reference from. I put this Sun Cao's fictional character next to Zhuge Liang, who's known as a director general in the book. He's never mentioned by that in the game, but it lets me kind of feed into both of the things by using that kind of similar vernacular. As I'm typing all this stuff on, I have to use the PlayStation Network keyboard prompt thing with the pad. It sucks, but I just have to use it. I'm not going to buy a keyboard for this. So, I don't have the excuse of having all the options. There's one option, I have to use it, so I do. Now, you won't get what I'm saying with this because it's about the audio. I killed the sound in this and then used one of the selected sound effects of a sword drawing to kind of show that Cao Cao's in trouble. This matches the dialogue. And it's about using the tools you have to create the message you want. And again, it's a limited set of tools, and using them is quite interesting, so you get some old kind of art from previous games. This is about, the Peach Garden Oath, and I used it to kind of frame another event that kind of simulated this one. So, it's about putting your hands in the toolbox, getting what you can, and trying to do what you can with what you have. So let's talk about Mass Effect Andromeda, because I finally finished it, and now we can talk about it in terms of what the questions it raised, but it didn't answer, and if it should have, and those kind of stuff. Not a bad game, but not a good game. 7 out of 10. Truly, it's so sad. I'm a massive fan of the franchise. One of the major plot twists. No, it's not a twist. The person who funds the entire initiative to leave the Milky Way is some kind of secret person. You don't know who they are, and you do a little side quest, but you still don't find out who they are. And it feels like, is this DLC bait or is this a sequel bait? Either way, it feels quite shallow. The bad guys of the game are the Ket. They are an empire. They share a lot with the Borg from Star Trek. They assimilate races and leave only destruction in their wake. The game acknowledges that you can't really beat them, but it doesn't resolve it. You just beat this one guy. But really, your trespassers in there, and the Moshai, the pink lady in the middle, says this. Your trespassers in their territory. You're here to stay, but how on earth do you mitigate the fact that they're a massive military empire and you're just these little guys and you have no resources? Another thing with Mass Effect Andromeda, and Javik really emphasizes this, is incidental incidental dialogue. He's a DLC character with a lot to say. If you don't have him, you don't hear it. And Andromeda feels like a game with a lot of stuff you won't hear said because it's all about choices you've made. And if you've made the other choice, that's the other dialogue you don't hear. So the Archon, the bad guy, is so awesome he doesn't even get his own name. Archon just means leader. You don't. He's just like a cardboard cutout villain. He plays the role rather badly. Dies at the end. Doesn't have a moment. It's sad. Remnant is kind of the Deus Ex Machina of this game. You come along, you mess around with this super old alien tech. It fixes everything, but no one really explains what it is. And again, it feels like DLC or sequel bait. They answer questions with more questions. A side quest called Contagion has you chasing this woman across the galaxy. She has a disease that could wipe out all life from the Milky Way. She ends up dead, and nothing happens one way or the other. And it kind of shows how the narrative devices are always at odds with the gameplay elements because they're not going to kill your characters off. Why did I put Commander Shepard in here? Oh yeah, because one of the major spoiler plot point things, super secret Easter eggs of the game is the Reaper stuff from Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3. You know all about it if you bought this game, because that's why you bought this game. I don't know why it makes a point of it, but it kind of shows that sometimes they're just trying to do things because they feel they need to do fan service, but they don't really know what the fans want. I think what the fans want is a good game. So what do I need to do? Like with my Chinaman on tracing paper, just create art because I'm inspired and motivated and compelled to do so, not because I'm told. But that said, I need to cut down on the play, do more work. There's 4 weeks left of the course. Of course, it's hard. I don't want to. Jack is afraid of becoming a dull boy. But, 4 weeks, suck it up, do it, get that piece of paper, and then there'll be time for all the Chinamen on tracing paper I can muster. That brings us to the end of Pecha Kucha 31. I'll see you next time.